Okay, here's my sound preferences. I like a variety of different tunings, but really what gets my juices flowing, starting from the lower octaves, is in the bass. I like my bass punchy, tight, fast with a kick. I like a little bit of energy down there, maybe a little bit of warmth, but not too much getting into bass bleeding. It's got to have enough weight to make male vocals, make piano, cello, percussions, have the right tonality. When it comes to my mids, I do like my mids and mid clarity, but I don't like too forward a mid, so that's the upper mids I'm talking about. So keep the pinna gain down a little bit and not make it too forward a presentation. And when it comes to the highs, I do like my sparkly highs. At my age, I'm probably losing a little bit of the high frequencies. But not too much where it's sibilant and in your face. So that's what I like. Tone Deaf Monk, I'm back with another I Am review, this time on a collaborative effort from DUNU and a Japanese YouTube reviewer, Kaji, otherwise known as Koto. Thank you to HiFiGo. This whole collaborative effort got spinning, and it's a good thing that it is, because it's a wonderful I Am. This is the $199 DUNU X Koto Ito 2+2. And let's jump right into this. Obviously, there was some work that went involved. There was over 5 revisions over spanning half a year. And inside of this is the workings for something wonderful. There is a 10 millimeter bio diaphragm for the sub bass, an 8 millimeter liquid crystal polymer for the mid bass and the mids, and there's 2 BAs, unknown brand, for the upper frequencies. The shells themselves, I would take pictures, but I tried. They honestly don't do justice to the beautiful top plates of these. There is a depth to the top plate that you just can't pull out of pictures. Like, it looks very 3D and layered. It looks like an ocean current underneath. Really pretty. It says DUNU on one side, Ito on the other side, and it's branded the Koto logo on nicely marked left and rights. As well as some of the other things that I do love. I like these shells very much. They're kind of beautiful and understated. There is a nice markings for left and right, which I always find very nice on the cable. The cable itself is a DUNU cable of what we've come to expect from their high quality cables. It's kind of like a bronzy, metallic, beautiful cable. Nice modular terminated end with that screw-off design again. Very nicely done. Excellent splitter there. Nice chin slider there that stays in place. Zero complaints about the cable and its sonic qualities. Very good. Starting off this long review, because I've got a lot to say. In a good way. And I'm going to hopefully describe this thing if you're looking at picking this thing up so you'll know exactly what you can expect. So starting off with a very solid bass foundation with a deep and powerful hit of drums and a really smooth transition for a full and kind of textured mid-range. with a rich and musical kind of vocals and mid-range. It really is quite nice. That dynamic drivers do so well tonality-wise for the mid-range, and I think that's what's making this set special in its own right. A song like I Might Be Wrong from Radiohead is a great track to describe how the Ito comes across to my ears. First off, you get nice, deep, organic bass, full of emotion and textured and it's layered into clean and a rich vocal presentation with lots of energy in the upper mids to bring out the bass. Kind of bassy, fun, and engaging replay. And there's enough in there to really pull you into the music with some sparklies and twinklies into the top end with the energy, but not too much to distract you from that wonderful bass and the beautiful mid-range that the Ito can pull out of this track. The Ito is a wonderfully colored IM and makes no apologies for that. In fact, it embraces its fun nature to give us exactly that, a bassy, fun and clean, engaging sound. I think the Ito can definitely elicit an emotional response from you, something you can pick up anytime you just want a pick-me-up jam session, and it does it so very well. What is a koto, first of all? Well, first of all, it's a traditional musical instrument. I always thought it was a drum, but that's not true. And it's an instrument that's played by plucking the strings of this kind of half-tube zither instrument. Its roots run really deep and can be found across many cultures, from the Chinese Zeng, the Mongolian Yatka, and the Korean Ganyangam. I think I have a couple of those downstairs. I think this Koto Ito IM very much embodies and captures the spirit of these instruments and the intent of DUNU and Kaji. Comes across very well, embodying the musical nature in its playback. Not sorry to say that I'm a little sappy on this one, but when I was listening to some MGK and the Tragically Hip, I found myself constantly being pulled into the music, making it hard to concentrate on taking notes and drifting into the fun and engaging nature of these IMs. They're very addictive. For those of you who are sensitive to that 3K area, might still want to do a little source rolling because I found on a couple tracks on some different sources that its forward presentation was just a little bit over the top. And something which is quite interesting is my last jam session I had with just this morning with my Astle and Kern Con Max was that this IM is actually quite not sensitive to sources, but it can be sculpted very easily to different sources. When I was listening to the Astle and Kern Con Max on this set, that 3K peak never reared its head, which was kind of funny because I found that on the Ibasso DX340 with amp 17, I was getting a bit of that. So the Aston Kern is a very articulate, very detailed and analytical DAP with a very fast, punchy bottom end and a slightly recessed mids. It's an interesting, it's either a hit or a miss on certain gear. It's definitely a hit on this one, that's for sure. But for most of you, I don't think it'll ever be an issue because there's enough bass and volume of the bass into the lower end and with that energy, you can carry up some of that balance up into that upper mids where it balances out quite nicely. So, talking about strings, I do love the way strings. Lower strings like cello come across with some tracks and piano especially. When I was listening to Rebira del Dero from Hiromi. It was a great treat. Deep natural notes, very realistic strings were simply standout. The Ito, for me, has a very organic sounding mid-range in addition to its bass performance, so it's not a one-trick pony. Even with its lower bass energy and weight, the way vocals comes across is still very clean and uncolored. Mostly, female vocals sound terrific. Male vocals sound terrific. No issues there whatsoever for me. If anything, I think there's a tad more thickness in the notes for female vocals, but I quite like that. Not enough to color it too much, but just enough to add a little bit of huskiness, and I quite like that. Listening to Katy Perry with You're So Gay. Her vocals have a wonderful combination of clear vocal inflection and smoky, sultry overtones. A real treat to listen to. The deep bass complements the vocals and the wind instruments quite nicely. Stage is average, nothing crazy 3D, being more engrossing than trying to pull you out of the music, and it works quite well with this tuning. So reggae, rap, jazz, rock, EDM work really well with Ito. Now, at this point, I was supposed to do a comparison with the Punch Audio Martillo, but unfortunately, that didn't quite happen because our Canadian postal system decided to shut down mid-transit. So that'll be some other video where I'm going to do a kind of BassFi shootout. I'm going to probably do this one, definitely do the Martillo, and I'll throw in the Salehi as well in there, and maybe even the RSV Mark II if it shows up. So look forward to that. I think I will. I will kind of say that I think this is a mini Martillo. I'm not going to... I hate going off of memory. Just mind shit. But it's given me those vibes, that's for sure. And at $120 less, might be something you want to look out, or wait for the shootout, and then I can truly give you a better idea of what the two compare against each other. So, and then I left this set. I was waiting for the Martillo to show up. I had this thing on playing constantly for about 6 days, so it's thoroughly burned in. And you really like a set when, after a few initial listens, you come back to listening to it and other gear you listen to it, or you just took a break. And you realize it wasn't just lust at first listen, it was true love. And again, on my, third extended away jam session with this one, again, I came back to it, and again on a different source, and it really just pulled me. And I know I'll be listening to this set, picking it up, because I just like the way it sounds. So the Ito does this for me, that deep bass. Oh boy. Quite honestly, though, I actually loved all music on this set. While not perfect tuning for all genres, the Ito does a wonderful job replaying all kinds of music, rock, again, jazz, EDM. It was just a real musical treat for me. Was I too concerned about its technical performance or airy top end that it didn't quite have a lot of? Not really. Didn't bother me at all. I was just enjoying the replay and the playback of what the Ito was doing for me, right? Washed Away, Tom Cochrane, another one. Warm and smooth mids, nice kick drums, colored, oh yeah, but in a very musical way. So just some final thoughts on the Ito. Kaji Koto, great job, right? Full respect to you on this. DUNU and yourself and HiFiGo, this collaboration came together, and it's wonderful that it did, and people get to enjoy this at a really, really good price. So I think DUNU was a solid choice to partner with in this collaboration. They're high quality finishes and their cables and everything was really, really nice. One thing that I would have loved to see is on the cable and the case. It just would have been nice to have, as a collaboration, your branding on here and maybe on the cable. I think that's would have nice. The Leo cable from DUNU, though, is very nice. But again, I would have loved to see your branding on there. So, and that's really all I have to. I think it's well priced. I think it's a great starter BassFi, and it's above, I think, a lot of stuff on the market that tries to come out as bassy, but not really pulling off any kind of nicer top end, like in vocal inflection and stuff like that. I think the Ito does a really good job there. So for $199, beautiful listen, great job, everyone, and yeah, congrats. It's a great set. Thank you.